Hey guys, and welcome back to Refactorissimo, where I remember what happened to all the AI stuff.
I saw you using the deconstruction planner and it all died.
Wasn't me,
Yep.
but that
Actually,
was so many hours worth of stuff. It's all gone.
Yeah. Hey, do you? I don't even remember why this thing's wired up. Something about a box.
Oh, it was doing stuff. Yeah.
Somehow it's tied to the number of wooden chests need to be greater than 10. What does that mean?
What?
Look at that inserter.
Why is it wooden chests?
I have no idea, but like, under what criteria would this thing actually work?
Oh no, I made it wooden chests because I just didn't want it making any more just now. That's right. This was the one that made more derps, depending on how many derps were in the system.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
So weird.
Yeah. So quit it. Make more dirt.
Here, there's another way to make it go away. You just take the damn inserter off.
But
Because you're going to rewire the whole thing, aren't you?
It was angled and stuff. Oh, well, I don't have anything for this. This fucking thing here is not like I don't know what I'm doing with this. But yeah, we removed all the AI shit because most of it was crap. So I spent literally about 24 hours solid working on some stuff.
Yep. And in the end, I just want to hear you say it. You ended up doing it the way I said we should do it in the first place, right?
Yeah,
right?
Which is what took me the 24 hours. Because you were trying to make me draw a red line with a green pen.
And you succeeded.
I did, but that's just because I'm awesome.
Nice.
Right, so the first thing that we want to do is... Well, the first thing that you always want to do is we need to get a zone marker. So I've got the... my iterative scanner that I worked out. So the other one was a bit fucked, and this one's actually labelled. At least I hope it's labelled.
Oh,
yes,
so nice.
It is. Nice.
Long reach. So good. I've played a lot of the not 15. Okay, so you got a new thing called iterative zone marker scanner. Iterative scanner zone marker.
It's actually spelled wrong as well.
Nice. Good blueprint.
I need more of these things.
I got you.
Alright, cheers.
I'm with you. Oh, a Mark V radar.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a while on that one.
Oh.
Substations. It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, those don't need to be there.
Big electric pole Mark IV. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which factory were you building this thing in?
This was on the what's it called, sandbox mode that I built all these. Okay, so this is our iterative scanner. As you can see, everything's labeled. If you can work this out, good fucking luck.
Okay, I see where you're converting. You've done your max X, max Y. This is the yep. So you're just defining the block. You're isolating the. This is the incrementer.
Yep.
So what does CUR mean? If cur?
Current x current. So if the current x coordinate is equal to the end x coordinate, then send a green signal. The green signal sends a signal to the y incrementer, which does y++, and then we've got the iterator here for the y, etc., etc. It just adds it. We've seen this one. We've seen this before. It's just I've labeled it now, and I've added a signal here. I've moved them around a bit so they make a bit more sense, and I've added a signal here that says if stop equals 0, then don't if the stop signal is present, then don't output anything.
Right. So you're effectively turning off the tile scanner completely, and you've also linked it up. It looks like with the zone marker. So the scanner, zone marker.
Yep, it's all
and
connected.
The zone controller.
Yeah, so this will mark the zones. So the iterative scanner gives the x and y coordinates to the tile scanner. The tile scanner then scans the tiles to see if any of this stuff's here, and then sends that through to the zone marker so that the zone marker can mark the zones.
Cool.
All right.
And it only runs how often?
It only runs when you set it to run.
And how do you tell it where to start?
The central x and y. So you've got the central x and y, and then you've got the radius to scan. You can change your central x and y for literally whatever you want. You can have a tile scanner here that outputs a zone scanner that outputs a specific zone if you just want to scan around something, or you can just give it. What I prefer to do is just give it a central x and y, and then just increase the radius. Because it's fast. Like, it's ridiculously fast.
So how do you identify the X and Y? Like I'm looking at if I press F6, I've got it set right now so that I can see in the top left-hand corner the cursor position, so I can see like X and Y.
I haven't organized my F5 and S6, so what I normally do is I place a random zone and then scan it with the zone scanner to find the X and Y.
That's a good way to do it. Sure. Okay. Cool. So long story short, it'll work. Cool. Can we play?
Yes.
Let's go.
I don't know what this X and Y is that I'm using right now. I don't know where that is on our map.
Let's see. You've got negative. I can do this. Y, negative 54. And then what was the other one?
X negative 78.
So it's about there. Roughly.
What? Where?
Here. This belt.
Oh, that's fine then.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's just roughly where it is. Assuming that it's XY, I'm showing negative 54.5, negative 77.2. How you can have a fractional. Well, the cursor tracks apparently between tiles or something. But it's just right around here.
Oh, cool. That's fine then. As long as it's actually in the base and not somewhere in bumfuck nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the iterative scanner and the zone marker so that we can actually mark out where everything is. The next thing that we need is obviously the miner controller to tell the miners where to go, which is pretty similar to the one that we had, except we were fucking our ticks. So because of the way this was, it wasn't propagating the ID tick at the right place because we had a bypass from here to here. Mm-hmm. Which meant that the ID tick was going three ticks before the X and Y, so it wasn't doing anything. So all I've done is delay the tick with two arithmetic combinators.
Oh, I see. Okay, so the arithmetic sends the signal in, and then when you just say ID plus 0, output ID twice, it just adds 2 ticks.
Yes.
That's it.
Yep. It just literally all it does is delays it by 2 ticks.
And that's because you've got the zone scanner and then these other two that are both each taking a tick as well.
Yep.
That is so dumb.
Yep.
There should just be like a little interface on the decider combinator that says like tick offset, where you could say like hold the signal for 2 ticks instead of making us use an entity. Well, I guess it's finer game mechanics. Whatever.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the miner controller. Then cool. the holler controller, or which I have fantastically labeled IntelliHolling.
It's either going to be really big or really small. Which one is it?
That was the wrong one that I loaded. Good job. IntelliHolling.
Just in case I'm going to give you some more space.
Nah, I can fit it. It's only because I've blown it out that it's so big.
So you haven't made it small and pretty yet, have you?
No, I just haven't like pushed them all together yet.
But you're going to need to relabel everything if you push them all together.
Yes, exactly. And that's a pain in the ass. Unfortunately, we don't have any big electric poles, but Mark 4, but I kept them in because they pull the global clock.
Okay.
So I wanted to know where I was going to need the global clock.
I really like that you have adopted, or I guess maybe adjusted to the idea of the global clock. I like that. I like the idea of it. Makes sense to me.
So that needs to...
Nice.
Go there. And I need... that one there. Okay, remove that. Okay.
There's so many chain gunners on this belt.
Yes, there are. It's such a waste as well. Alright, so we've got the scanner, the marker, and the IntelliHoller, as I like to call it. Or the IntelliHolling. Right, you want to have a look at this?
Yeah.
This is the fucking... I was calling this my computer because... Yep.
Basically what it does?
Yep. So this timer here, on the left, is set to 238.
Wait. Where are you? There you are. Okay, there's new stuff. New labels and stuff and things. Okay.
Yeah. So, fuck man. I hope I can explain this to you. So this timer on the left set to 238, and this timer is set to 240 because we need the ticks to synchronize. It's pretty much the entire reason that these are set like that.
Okay.
And then, so what this timer does is it sends the, on the tick that it gets given, it sends the condition, which is green, which is the memory condition, so to allow the memory to continue. Which you can see by, if you look at temp and mem. So the temp and mem are the two memory modules that we've got. So
yes.
Green equals 1 and green equals 1.
A and B. Comparing A and B to see which one's bigger, and then if it's bigger, keep the bigger one, and then move it to... That's what I said.
Yep. So the green is what keeps the memory modules going, or when a second green gets pulsed, it will then wipe the memory module.
Okay. And you're still using the 600T, or does it matter what T you use for your global clock?
I'm still using the 600, but as long as it's over 300, it's fine.
Right. So if we needed to, for example,
we can always remove it.
UPS,
It just needs to be 2 less than the other timer.
Right. So UPS adjusting, we just increase it.
Okay, so then we've got the temporary memory. So what I should have done is I should have kept my coding that I done. I made like the entire assembly code out of the iron letters and pasted that so that I could follow it. But yeah, so what happens is essentially the stuff in the temporary memory gets compared against the stuff in the actual memory. So temp gets compared to mem, which is the A and B here. So B is the temporary memory, the amount of inventory slots left in temporary memory, and A is in the actual memory, and they get compared together, and if the temporary memory has less inventory slots than the actual memory, then that gets put into the actual memory, and then that gets output to this memory X and Y, which then gets sent up here, which we'll have a look at this logic a bit later. But when this memory slot is blank, when temporary memory has nothing, then obviously 0 is going to be smaller than anything that's in the actual memory. So
that's the massive B?
Yeah, so if the temporary memory is blank, which is mining vehicle mark II ID equals 0, output 1B, and then it gives it a massive B, which is a 2 gig B, whatever the fuck it is. It's just the highest that the slider could roll. So that gives it a huge inventory stock, so that when it's compared, it won't move the thing.
Gotcha. So it doesn't get caught up because one mining vehicle has an empty inventory.
Yes.
Or something.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, if it's more when the temporary memory is empty, because obviously it's going to have the same number of ticks empty as it has full. And if you check it when it's empty, then there's going to be 0 slots left, because the inventory slot signal will be 0, so it will think, oh, it's got 0 inventory slots left. That must mean that it's completely full. So we'll send the hauler to there, whereas there isn't actually anything because there's no signal.
Mm-hmm. So, so there you had to check against inventory slots full. There was no other like variable to say like capacity or like storage or space. We just had to use inventory slots.
Yes, it's only inventory slots.
Huh. And this will work well when we upgrade to mining mark 2s and 3s and 4s, and it'll still just bigger inventory.
Just check, yep. How many inventory slots have you got empty? And then it'll send the thing there. So we still have to set the number of miners manually, because there's literally no way that I could set that, because when the memory, if I was to put that into memory, it would get cleared, the memory would get cleared, and then what would happen is when it's cleared, it would say that the number of miners equals 0, and that would fuck everything up.
Okay. So let's we have 5 minutes. It's taking you a little bit. I'm glad. But let's can you turn it on? Can we do do we need to do more?
Power them all up and
you do it. You do the honors. You built all this nonsense.
I know.
What else is there that we still have yet to build?
You're the one that powers everything.
Am I? Yeah, I am keeping the factory running, aren't I? That's right. You heard me. Okay, so
I try to keep
unfortunately
the big electrical poles without any
copper. Yeah.
Without any copper, yeah.
I get you. That's just so that you can use the global clock. I like it. Okay. We definitely need to get some tech so that we can upgrade these to much better electrical poles.
Yeah, pretty much. So some of them won't actually start straight away, and we'll need to give them a little kickstart, but that's working as intended.
Okay.
All right, so this won't start because it doesn't have a tick for what ID to start with. So all you need to do is add from this constant combinator into the actual scanner and then back, and then we should get going. Shit, no. I need to wait until it actually ticks through.
Oh, until the initial criteria is met, T needs to hit 238?
Yep. So if you look at temp and mem are your temporary and your memory, so you can see exactly what ID is scanned and what ID is sitting in the memory.
Okay, so if I'm reading this correctly, output signals, we've got ID 2 M1. Does the tooltip update dynamically if you keep your mouse in the same spot, or do you have to hover over it again?
No, it will update dynamically. So temp has now disappeared.
So right now, once every 10 seconds...
Scan number 3. There you go, number 3's been scanned, and it's been put into memory because it's got less free inventory slots with 54.
Yep, makes sense.
And we'll see number 3 disappear.
And you've got it set right now for 8 miners?
Yep.
Is that how many we actually have? I think we don't.
4.
So how will it break if we have the wrong number?
We currently have 3 miners. It'll just do nothing. It'll just, as you can see, it's already set, so it won't break. It just won't find it.
Yeah, we'll find it. It'll compare nothing against the current data set, which is going to have real numbers, versus the temp, which is blank, and it'll ignore the blank. Makes sense. Cool.
Yep.
So you said we have to manually program the miners. Well, why can't you just tell it to scan 50?
Well, you
Granted, it'll take it longer. It'll take longer to loop around.
Yep.
But you could more green lines, Steve Joe. Ready? You could make it so like if it gets 2 back-to-back temps, 2 blanks, that triggers the thing to shut down and say, okay, there are none. And then you could just have max miners be like 1,000, and it doesn't make any difference because eventually it'll hit the point where there aren't any that it's getting data on, and it knows that there aren't any more in that array. So stop. But let's just not. Yeah, let's just leave it.
You're right. No, you're 100% right. I could do that.
Let's just let it work.
Let's just let it work. And this up here is set so that hauler 1 on every tick of whatever 237 then gets that gets propagated. We've got a little memory unit here that keeps hauler 1. It then outputs the hauler ID, how much inventory slots are left. If it's got less than 5 inventory slots left, it will go to the depot. More, it will go to the miner. This makes sure that there's actually a memory signal there before sending anything. Then this says FD equals 1, send the depot coordinates through to the unit controller. If M equals 1, send the miner coordinates through, and only on the specific tick.
And did you already check to see if the depot XY is correct for this save? Should we update that?
That's the same depot XY as you were using before.
Cool. So it's good to go then. I understand this concept of propagating the hauler ID. I just hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. the fact that it has to be done just to keep the ticks in sync. But it's nice to see that Wii U solved that. Why is the tick? You did. You spent a lot more time on this than I did over the last couple of days. But you know, the fact that we were getting memory like off sync and just like freaking out and stuff. How many people do you think commented on the last video like, "This is why you need to do this"?
I have no idea how many people actually followed enough of it, because most of the time my comments are just full of like, I like what you're doing, but I have no idea what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so before we wrap this one up, because it's already time, I just plugged in the miner controller, so can we find, like, miner 1 and hauler 1? Is there even a hauler down? There should be. I want to see it work. Make it work! I found type ID of mining vehicle Mark 1. I found mining vehicle Mark 2 number 3 is sitting on Saphirite. There's nothing telling them to, like, move.
Number 3 should be on Saphirite, yeah. Well, 1 should be chasing down trees. 2 should be chasing down Jivelite.
Jivelite?
Yeah. And 3 should be chasing down Saphirite.
Isn't this number 2 over here? In the Bobonium. Or the Rubite, sorry.
Don't know.
That's what I've... Type ID 2. You're not getting any commands.
Maybe he is, he's just like...
Want me to nudge him? Should I pick him up and put him down?
Oh,
Let me shoot him.
no, I just don't think I've connected up the timer, the global clock. Yeah, I haven't. There you go. Now he will. Is he the one that's scheduled to die by going to the Jivelite?
I don't know. Oh,
There's 2
wait, there. One's moving now. He's going to
he'll be going to some
Saphirite.
Saphirite, yeah, so he'll be heading to the Saphirite deposit in the death.
We need to program it so that we get, like, warning signs. How, is he just, like, too stupid to get out of the base right now? Is that his problem?
Oh yeah, he'll just up around until he gets out of the base now.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, we could take a break here, or we can, I mean...
Well,
your
that's a
Rubite
good
guy,
one, 'cause we can...
he's not moving. He's still sitting there.
I don't know why, maybe he's stuck. Looks like he might be stuck.
You think he can't path through that? It looks like it's big enough.
No, he might just be stuck on the water.
Will it break everything if I pick him up?
No, not if you pick him up, no.
Alright, he doesn't exist anymore. I'll put down a new one to replace him. And I'm going to check his ID. He is type ID 3, so...
Number 3 is the Saphirite guy.
Okay, well,
Number
he's
2
on
is
his way.
Jivelite.
He's received a command. It wasn't mine, but...
That's good.
You know what'd be cool is if it, like... The tooltip for the mining vehicle Mark II. You should see in the tooltip the ID. Is that possible? Probably not. You probably can't have a dynamic tooltip for an entity, can you?
Probably not, no. You
Oh,
can.
well.
I think you can do funny things with items, but not entities. Oh, he's making it through. This fucking water is just hell for these guys.
He's running me over. Did you program this one to just try to kill me? Is that what you did?
Not yet.
I knew it. None of this is real. You actually programmed death. You programmed a machine to just run me over.
All it does is show fancy signals, but it's very simple. It's just set to wherever you are, go there. Alright, so those 2 guys will go and commit suicide.
Nice. Oh, did
That's
you
the
just
thing that'll happen.
Did you just pick him up? I just saw him disappear for a second and then teleport back.
No,
It must have
wasn't
been
me.
part of the mod.
But,
Okay, cool.
Yeah, unfortunately that's all we've got time for, so as always, thanks a lot for watching. I've been Steve, you've been awesome, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
See you soon.